Henry R. Mockingbird, your host with the mustache, and I'm back in my original spot for the time being. But until then, remember before the pandemic happened, before COVID-19, when I reviewed the quintessential so bad it's good movie, Plan 9 from Outer Space? Well, I brought up another movie in that review. In that review, I mentioned that the director of that film, Ed Wood, directed another movie, Bride of the Monster. And that is the film I'm going to review today. So, let's dive in. Bride of the Monster is about a mad scientist who wants to create an army of atomic supermen so he can, you guessed it, take over the world.
Of course!
I always wanted to use that gag. Well, what do I think of the film? Well, I'll tell you. Well, I like it. I put this film in roughly the same spot as Plan 9 from Outer Space. First, let's talk about some of the characters. There's Dr. Vornoff, played by Bela Lugosi, in his last acting role. And he has some weird stuff, like the fact that he can hypnotize people like he's Dracula, and you get a bunch of close-ups with his eyes. He also has a killer octopus in his basement, which strangles its victims. And even though this octopus does look kind of rubbery looking and fake, he does look more realistic than most CGI does. And then there's the mute/bodyguard/servant, Lobo, played by Tor Johnson. And then there's the reporter, Janet, played by Laura Lee King, who, when Tim Burton directed Ed Wood, she would be replaced by Juliet Landau. There's a scene in where Dr. Venoff and Lobo get into a fight, and we get a great climactic duel between Vornoff and Lobo. Servant and master. The fight really escalates until Lobo gets thrown into some electrical equipment, causing the place to explode and caught on fire. And then we get the classic scene in where the villain is carrying off the girl. And then the protagonist tears off his already torn shirt and goes after him. You know, seeing our protagonist shirtless is seriously giving me some Thief of Baghdad flashbacks. The film also has a sequel called Night of the Ghouls.
Franchise, 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 franchise.
Wow! It's been a long time since I used that clip. The film was also Ed Wood's most expensive, costing $70,000. Now, that may not sound like a ton of money nowadays, but back in 1955, and for an Ed Wood movie, that's a James Cameron-style budget. It also appeared as a double feature alongside a German film called Cogito, and it was also riffed on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Well, I see by your records you haven't been here for 6 years. Have you been flossing?
Well, that's pretty much all I have to say. But tune in for my Valentine's Day episode. Until then, I'm Henry R. Mockingbird, your host with the mustache, signing off. I give this film 5 stars. Write, like, and subscribe to the channel and ring bell for future uploads. If you like to make a movie request on this channel, do so in the comment section below. And feel free to check out my other shows, Modern Classics, TV Treasures, and Geek Reviews. And check out my editorials.